Well, hi there, Bill Lackner here. In this video clip we're going to demonstrate how to clean a limit of purple varnish clams, the easiest clams in Oregon's coastal waters to dig, clean, and prepare. I've soaked these clams in salted water for a day and a half before putting them in the refrigerator and covering them with a damp terry towel cloth. This morning we're going to blanch the clams until they pop open, which it takes 10 to 15 seconds. Once the clams are blanched, we're going to put them in, dump them into the sink, and turn the cold water on to cool them off to prevent them from cooking. We will hopefully record this process on this video clip. As you can see, we have a rolling boil in our pot that we're going to steam the clams in. I removed the terry towel from the bowl, placing the clams into the bowl and dumping them into the boiling water until they pop open, which will take approximately 10 to 15 seconds to accomplish. These clams are a little colder because my icebox, my refrigerator, was so cold. But see, now the clams are popping open. See that? They're all popping open, doing what they should do. The ones that don't pop open, I'll open with a knife. Okay. I dumped the clams from the pot into the sink, got the cold water running so I can cool the clams down to stop them from cooking. Any clams that aren't open are alive and I can open with a knife, such as this one right here. You can see this clam did not pop open, but I'll open it with a knife. Clams, the shells are open, are good. I inspected all of the clams prior to dumping them into the boiling water to make sure that indeed the clams' shells were closely closed and alive. If the clams were gaping and the shells were open, and by touching the clams, if they didn't close the shells, you'd know that they were dead, and you'd throw those clams away.
What are you doing?
I've separated the clam meat from the clam shells. I'm going to save the clam shells. I'm going to use them as vessels for making my Oregon stuffed clams. As you can see, I have a half a dozen or so clams that did not open. These clams are alive and they're good, they're healthy, and I'm going to cut them open with a knife. I've got my favorite clam cleaning knife, you know, a short blade paring knife, and I go on the hinge side here where there's just a slight gape in the clam. See the gape? I stick the knife blade in, cut through the abductor muscle, run the knife blade all the way around to the other side, open the clam. Clam looks good, clam smells good, passes the smell test. Take the clam, deposit it into the bowl with the other clams, pick the clams up, find a gape where the clam shell's slightly open, run the paring knife in and around to the other side, open the clam up, clam passes the smell test, clam's good to go, deposit the shell with the others,
okay, that's
and
good.
Finish cleaning the clams in this manner, then I'm done. Then what we do, to clean each clam individually, we take and squeeze the gut bag. The visceral material comes out. I squeeze the gut bag, pull the visceral material off. I throw it into the sink. Take the knife,
okay,
and just scrape the remaining visceral material from the clam. Wash the clam off. And we're good to go.
Okay. Can I turn it off now?
It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Did you get it as simple as
yeah.
that? Okay. Here we are at the end of cleaning my clams. I have the one in my hand and 3 in the sink, and you can see the visceral material at the bottom of the sink. I'll clean the sink when I'm finished. Here's the clean clams. Oh, I guess I made a mistake. I threw the the visceral material. I didn't get quite cleaned off of this one, so I'll re-clean that one. But anyway, you get the idea. That here's my clean clams. Here's my shell, and here in a little bit we're going to take the clean clams, put them back into their shells, and make stuffed clams. One of my favorite way of eating Oregon's clams. Well, we're ready to begin stuffing Oregon's stuffed clams with our clams into our shells with cheese and pieces of bacon. Now, I didn't cook this bacon thoroughly. It's not crispy bacon. It's sort of medium. And that's by design, so when we're broiling it, it will finish cooking over the the clams. This is thick sliced bacon. Generally, my recipe calls for thin sliced bacon, and I broil it raw on the shell, on the half shell. But that didn't happen this time. It's what I have on hand. A lot of times when I make stuffed clams, I just take whatever's in the ice box and that's what we use, and sometimes we have some spectacular results. Of course, it's magical that the number of clams I have divided by 2 ends up with enough clam meat to stuff 16 of the, or 18 of the shells. Anyway, I'm going to finish stuffing these here in a minute, and we'll see what the completed clam looks. Well, we have 18 clam shells stuffed with all the clam meat from a limit of 36 clams. We're going to finish stuffing them with the cheese and the bacon, put some salsa on them, bake them, broil them in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. We're all ready to go with the salsa. These are going to be served as hors d'oeuvres over at my buddy Dutch's house, and so we'll finish applying the salsa over there and broiling them there so they're hot and fresh and tasty and delicious. Well, here we are over at Dutch and Bev's, and we've got our Oregon stuffed clams
put your water in there and
ready to broil, which we'll do here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't this look good? This are Oregon stuffed clams with Munster and cheddar cheese. Boy, that looks absolutely delicious. We will find out here in a few minutes.